Done? Alright, so first and foremost, I want to give our praises to
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rachakodash.
We say that amongst the apostles and elders of great must not well, our teachers, our apostles in the truth, and we say salutations, so the Akamas, we push on truth and say day in and day out. No considering season on season, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Once again, we also get the prophesy things that be going on all around the world at this particular time that we speak. This particular time we stand up here, there's so much of things going on. You know, there's so much of things happening, prophecies, everything playing out. You understand? Let's bring our scripture here before we start, before we go into it. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 39, verse 1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies." And this is say prophecies happening on a rapid basis as in the time that we're in. Is that we're seeing prophecies play out right before our eyes. Right before our eyes, we're seeing things. We're seeing famine, uproars. Right now, the television, the media houses, they're not showing you what is happening around the world. They're only showing you a good picture to make you think everybody taking the job and living life nice. But what they're not showing you is Brazil protesting, France protesting, Sweden, Switzerland. These places that have uproars on a giant scale. You understand? But the media are not showing you that. You understand? They're making you think everything normal. They're making you think everything is cool. You know? It's cool. Right? It's cool. So that is what the Lord said about be what? Be occupied. Right? They say and be occupied in prophecies. Because through the prophecies we see the signs and the times. You understand? We know it is happening, we know it is taking place. You don't want to be like these rest of people here and think everything is just common, everything is just a laugh and a joke, everything is just going to continue as is. It is not. It is not. We're just coming into that time that we're going and see something critical happen.
Never happened before.
Something that never happened before, the scriptures say. You understand? But the Lord said this was the generation of what? Vipers. You understand? If you talk, like when anybody was not talking and we're saying, you know, these people outside here believe they have an opinion on what is going on. It's yes or no. It's yes or no. And right now to us here, right? To be out in the streets doing this, right? They have here a mask. You feel we could. You can't even walk. Police not even take out that charge. It's not in between maybe or but. They don't care about it. If you have any health problems with the breathing and so forth, you have to wear this on. You understand? We feel going happen. We feel happening with the job. It's yes or no. Right now we can't go. It's cinema. Mm-hmm. The band cinema. Bars,
Restaurants,
the mall, restaurants, gym. I think that is it. That is the top 5.
Well, they start off though.
Yeah, they start also. Eventually they will increase. So you feel you could go inside of these places. They say you have to have the card to go in, meaning that you have proof, a legitimate proof that they did take this thing. This is the time that we in. This is the signs and the prophecies the Lord warned us about. You understand? From there, they can just drop the chip. You already hear millions of people taking this thing, so they don't care. They don't have an ounce of care towards the Lord. That's why the scripture say what? It say, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High. Even the Lord tell you to not make piercings on his skin and thing. Marks on the flesh and so forth.
Yet you come away with this thing, you know.
So you know there's what tell you? It's what tell you that the Lord go ahead and take. The Lord go forgive, but the Lord tell you to meditate in the law. So the Lord telling that, hey, don't make no point. markings on the flesh and so forth. So then why are you going to do that for?
That's scripture too.
You understand? What are you going to do that for? And you know the thing about it, there are churches actually promoting this thing.
Well, that next thing to me just want to remember, I actually to present your card before you go to church just now.
Yeah, well, that is the next step, most likely.
No, they say that.
To me, that will be the next
Say that.
Yeah.
Those telling religious leaders to
To
encourage
tell
the staff,
Yeah,
the
the-
members to get that.
Tell them take it or they go face
So,
repercussions.
so like one example, if the church for everybody, those who didn't take that thing,
You can't go.
why you shouldn't them?
You
You
can't go.
cannot cross the forgive someone.
No,
Somebody who forgiveness about.
most likely they're going by 5 right? So they'll get 5 business here. So the next time we do it, they might give you our next 5 business. So most likely churches might be in the next 5. Because what they do, remember the 5 that they use is 5 big things. Gym, restaurants, bars, cinemas, and malls. You can't go in these major places without this. And the thing about it, the five businesses that they look up, that they do that for is 5 businesses that everybody is asking to open first. You
Because
understand?
that is social activities.
So correct is right. You understand? Like for instance, they say you have to have it to go into that bar, right? But if you go into the bar, you can only buy what? Soft drink.
Water.
When they come outside, they can't drink because if you're underneath SOE, you cannot drink outside. You cannot drink outside in the public underneath the SOE. So you see how tough it is.
So where are you really opening your bathroom?
So but you see the catch there. The reason why they open it is to show people what's going on. If you have this, we're giving all the leisure.
Yeah.
We're giving all they want.
Less restriction.
Yeah, that's less here, you know? So it's like,
Which is another reason why people rushing for that. Because they want to go back to that.
yeah, to the,
The whole enough freedom against them.
yeah.
So they
You have something?
so the Romans 10 and stuff from 2 say, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of God,
Yeah.
but not according to knowledge.
Yeah, they have a zeal of God and not according to knowledge. Because at the end of the day, if you have the knowledge according to the Lord, you would know that these things that they're doing, these things that they're bringing, you're not supposed to take it. You're not supposed to abide by it. You're not supposed to be in it. Right? You're supposed to be in it because it have nothing to do with the Lord. Now you have a zeal. You might be saying God on a daily basis. But according to knowledge, they don't have that. They don't.
If I can say that too, that also go back to the judgment people as make, because they don't have the judgment of the Lord either to really know that,
Yeah.
to really do it, to discern what here what's going on. You know, some people go ask them and say, well, if they want to do it, well, I don't want to judge because God said don't judge. That is not having knowledge according to the Lord.
That go back to what I was saying before. It's that in the year 2021, right? And it about saying, right? All these people will be saying it all over. That don't tell somebody what to do with their body. So why no you're force this what so why does that stand with this particular thing? Why it doesn't stand for this particular thing? And if you think about it, these heavily 2/3. These heavily 2/3. When I watch the statuses and hear them talk, they want everybody to go and take it. You understand? They want everybody to go and take it. Basically, you can see where they might sell you out if you don't. You see that?
It even has sites for that now. Like I think it's the
report.
Oz sites or something.
Yeah,
like
to
that.
report.
Because you created this segregation, right? And some people who now feel that they take this thing and they're above the other person, just like.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you down there, you causing me not to get my thing. So here what? I'm gonna sell you so that they can deal with you.
Yeah.
So I can try and get back my
Yeah.
because you not doing your thing, keeping me back. You understand?
And not only that too, you see some people who do take it, after taking it they'll realize when they see certain things, they'll realize how bad it is. And they'll go try to get other people to join in too to make themselves feel better about the choices.
Yeah. Like one way, and if the other way is another thing. To practice the same normal thing. I watched a fella on video yesterday. A long thing. Let's say he take it because he wanted to go back to Germany.
You want to go back German?
Germany.
Germany? Oh, yeah, for travel.
Yeah, travel. Right?
Yeah.
And he know you only way to travel now is with that. He take that out, but remember he needed to get it full. To get full.
Yeah.
You take,
To get,
yeah,
like, the ticket too.
yeah.
And that's a really retarded
The
boy.
man in the real gym, real fitness and thing. After you take that, man could only work out for 8 minutes. After that, was a knockout. Two. Body different. Headache.
Like, he can travel now, eh? For how long? Who knows? You understand? You make a choice.
Very crazy.
And that is the thing. In the hour of
Because they were back normal.
temptation, right?
Back normal.
In the hour of temptation, it won't come down to a choice. You understand?
I thought we were going to go with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Hosea 4 and 6. That people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, thy powers. I will also forget thy children.
And if I can say, this is also a priesthood here. Because scriptures say, well, we are a nation of kings and priests. You understand? But they will be of the rejected fold.
And you were just saying, according to the way you read, and the lack of knowledge. And the knowledge is not only to be good, but a simple thing is they bring something foreign to you. After that red flag build up, and you never just Google something and just check it out. Just a simple good, and realize something is weird something.
And I explained that to my partner. My partner in Mexico the other day, I was telling him, I say, because he was interested in getting it now. And I was telling him, if it is you want to get out, right? People are Russian faith. You even know what inside of that? And he's studying that scientist, right? I say, you even know what inside of that? Or you could rush to get something that you don't even know what it is you're putting inside it. You understand? When you're sit down, if somebody really sit down and think about it, it ain't gonna make no sense.
And then some people give you some kind of stupid answers, you know. I
It
tell
does.
somebody about your, well, you know, so much people dying or something happening. Well, you have to die sometime.
Yeah, there is the answer for it. It's because even if people are telling them go and take it, they themselves don't have answers to it. You understand? One minute they're telling you, it's not mandatory. Now they make it mandatory. 1 minute they're telling you, when I take it once, you don't have to take it again. Now I have to take it 4 times after that.
Yeah.
You understand?
And
So
get
they themselves-
boosters.
Yeah, and get boosters. So that you come on like 6. So is this to show you that how you could believe this devil?
No consistency and nothing the same. Nothing else is done at all. They just keep changing the times. Yeah, it's easy.
How you can believe these people? This serpent. You understand?
The scriptures say he's a liar from the beginning and the father of it. You understand?
And then he lie on top of the lie to cover up that lie.
That's all that is do, lie. I'm finish Romans 10. It say for they be Romans 10 verse 3, it say for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness.
See, this one. Read back over that in the woman.
Romans 10 verse 3, it say for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness.
So they're not knowing that the most righteous. They're ignorant of the fact. But the way how they want to speak, in the son, they want to speak it, that zeal, they want to talk, they think they know something. They think they have knowledge.
But your opinion.
It's as I say, their opinion. You understand? Brother.
Say. And going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
Have not what?
Submitted themselves unto the righteousness.
They're going after righteousness that they create in their own mind.
Self-righteousness.
Self-righteousness in their own mind. You understand? After their own mind, but not after the righteousness of the Lord. You understand?
It's just like the ending of what I just went here. Where
Yes,
you say, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power.
Can.
So they forget.
I will forget thy children.
So they forget the Lord righteousness, but they want to make their own righteousness and make it seem like that is the Lord way. You understand?
The definition of righteous as well is one that goes according with the Lord's
Hey,
standard.
like how we prepare, like how we go prepare and say, yo, yes, we say it every week. You see, we do complex videos that we wouldn't be on the streets no more. On the other hand, these people that be in these places, these denominations, these religious things, they're not on that. They want you to take this thing to let them continue. They're not preparing the congregation for way to come at hand.
They ain't talking about the family anyway.
No.
They want to make sure that they have the congregation come in here. Right? And the more people get the thing, there are more people inside it.
Yeah.
And when you pass the basket around, it's full on every time.
Yeah.
Understand? Say greedy dogs that can never have enough. That is scripture refer to them as.
Yeah, the basket has to be full.
And this to show you that, hey, we know, that is why the scriptures say this is as the beginning of what? Our sorrows. They already start their agendas. If you're not keeping up with what is this devil doing, you will miss the timeline that they own. They already mentioned things for November, they mentioned things for December, they mentioned things for January. They on a rapid timeline right now. You understand this?
Why now?
Yeah, things set in place.
That's just plan and noise execution. Right?
Yeah.
Basically,
Like for example, I was saying I see an article with when I was reading about Shell. This is Shell going and Shell telling the workers that if it is they don't take it, because apparently they're saying that Biden was forcing all American companies
yeah.
to force, right? So any foreign company it had down here,
Same thing.
whether it be oil or
It
whatever,
falls under there. It falls
Right.
under that law.
right? So all of them now go and be subjected to tell the staff here what's going on. You have to take it or
You have a choice.
that is it.
Like somebody asked a question. Somebody asked my question. I say, what you think going to happen? I say, I know what thing is going to happen from where you know going to happen. It's because the Lord give us prophecies and foretold us what is going to take place before. You understand? He said, but this is the signs of the time. You know? This is the signs of the time. The man talk about the uproars, the earthquakes, the kingdom versus kingdoms and so forth. The rumors of wars, all these things the Lord mentioned is going to take place. You understand? Not what we think going to happen, is what it is going to happen.
And happen.
And is happening.
Right
You know?
Yeah.
I want
Now-
to when you just say it when you finish.
Yeah, but you'll bring it after. You bring this in. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14. I'll start from verse 14. It said, let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man and put off now the weak nature. That mortal, because see, mortal thoughts is what is how you're thinking and on a low level. You understand? How if you're thinking emotional, that mortal thoughts. Is what is how you're thinking emotional. But I really have to take this because I don't want to lose my family. You understand?
I don't lose my job.
I don't want to lose my job.
I don't want to
As we just GTA in GTA, right?
Mm-hmm.
They show you in the game. This man making money, but he making sure with the money he have, he's setting up the places in order. You understand? To the point where he set up the place, the stuff he buy, it's so well stocked is that it have a doomsday heist, a doomsday preparation. So even in the game they show you that wait is coming. You understand? Wait is going to happen. Something going to happen. You understand? But what they show you is that he prepared. These people on the other hand outside here, they're going to be playing that and even, that's a game.
catch with the pants down.
Yeah, that's just a movie. That what you don't say, put out the mortal thoughts. You understand?
As you mentioned, that just quickly add to those other denominations for years before this thing happened. You tell people, yeah, you telling the people under them in their congregation, look at the signs, right? Back then. Now when the signs actually was for the like they not see it.
No, the science regional is saying, they say when they shall say peace and safety, they keep saying, well, they pray for things to get better.
Yeah, that is what they're saying. They pray to everything to get better. Even if what Jeremiah say, they go say what
What is in here this morning?
that time
Oh, Jesus Christ?
nah,
Okay.
it's in the Bible, but
Website of results.
yeah.
Okay.
Like so that is what they're
Yeah.
saying. Like they go be saying they go be
Yeah, check a CD,
Yeah.
check a CD rest of the
the sons.
Jeb
Faram.
Ephraim, yeah.
Ephraim.
Naphtali.
Naphtali.
Yeah.
Naphtali.
Basically, they all are the sons. That Issachar, yeah.
Yeah.
And all these sons is what create form the 12 tribes. That everybody know of.
From in the Bible. You see, like how you see, the 12 tribes of Israel is when you read the Bible, you hear the Lord mention it over and over. The tribes of Israel. You understand? But many people today, they don't tell you about them. They don't like, alright, so you might go to church and they might tell you that you hear them say they will mention everybody. But when you read the scriptures, the Lord tell you He chosen a particular people unto Himself. You understand? No, you would expect that from the church because their duty is to get money. But they don't teach you the truth. So what the science about is to tell you who the people is. Because you can read from Genesis to Revelation, right? Which Revelation is the last book. And the Lord mentioned these people. He even mentioned in Revelation that these people are going on get saved. You understand? These people go and get saved. And they wouldn't tell you who the people is. It's because the people itself today is at a lower state compared to what it was before. You understand? So like even like Judah, which is the head tribe, you call them what? The Negroes today. So even to this day, they themselves don't even know that there's these people. They even know that they was kings. You understand? But due to the fact that slavery, all these things, and the teachings that they get, is to always keep them at that level to the point where they will never, their mindset is to never get back this knowledge to who they are. You understand? But in the Bible again, when you read the scriptures, they tell you that these is the chosen. I'm not sure what I mean by that.
Your Bible?
This is Amos, right? Amos chapter 3 verse 1. It says, hear the word that the Lord had spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. So you say, nah, you say, hear this word, children of Israel. See, make a prayer for you. Who it is He's speaking to? He didn't say everybody. He said, hear this word of children of Israel. He said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Only you, these people, have I known of the families of the earth. Because when you read Exodus with Moses, right? The Egyptians was plagued, but he saved a particular people.
Okay.
Right? That story, you see the movies and so forth. So if you're dealing with everybody, why you deal with the Egyptians so? But this particular people he saved, he brought them out. And even so you can see from that story account, they was chosen. So today,
He saved all the Israelites.
today, they ain't gonna know, like I said. The Negroes is Judah. The West Indians on this side here is Benjamin. This is chosen, this is the tribes, and this is the chosen people.
Right?
Yeah. What was reading? I was reading second address.
Every time that happens,
Huh?
every time that happens, you saw this out on a preset. Just certain things like
The second, right, so go back into the second Ezra chapter 14. It say here, it say for the 14. What is stop at? Yeah, 14. It say, let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. You understand? So you're saying, put away the mortal thoughts, them emotions, and not go and stand in the stand. You don't say what to what. It say to put off now the it say to cast away the burden of man and put off now the weak nature. You understand? Because the time I be coming in, we can't show that weak side. We can't show that weakness. You understand? We know it's going, and we know it's going to spark fear. We know it's going to be tough. By the end of the day, that weak nature is what's going to make you accept and take anything that come forth.
next time, you either make or break them at the next time. So they'll come and then come as though it, well, just not coming soon. Is that all of temptation? And you have to make a choice.
You have to.
And as you said earlier on, they're going to ask me a question, and I say yes or no answer. People try to say maybe.
Yeah.
When that time comes, that I take it or you don't take it. But I know in between.
There's no in between. You understand? Have no in between with
Like,
this thing.
so if you come and warn you, the consequences of taking something or not taking it, then you won't have that choice to make. Because if you don't know and you're being programmed, you're just running into it head on. But if you have to come and warn you, what are the consequences of making certain choices?
And to the end, that will be the final matter. Whoever it is do it, they can never say that they didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's say
And then your blood, I mean, is not in my hand. Is it?
Can't.
done. To say for yet greater evils than those which thou hast. No, sorry. It say in verse 15, 2 Corinthians 14, verse 15, it say, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. You understand? So it says, set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. They show it. Not, you need to thoughts on these things supposed to be going on your mind. You have the thoughts like, hey, you're studying your family, studying your job, studying your house, studying your land. These are things that you're not supposed to be worrying about in that time.
And they say, so we are pilgrim now.
Yeah. Because we will live like what? Pilgrims on the earth.
Moving,
Yeah. Right? Let's say verse 15. No, 16. It say, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. It say, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Greater evils. You all look, they mention how much death take place due to this pandemic. That is just the beginning. Even if they fabricate the numbers, you are greater numbers to get any time to come.
They say bodies will be lying. Just imagine you're walking over and crossing over bodies. And I ain't even start yet. But you know that is to come.
Yeah, make a scripture.
Right.
So the Romans 3, verse 3, it say, for what if some did not believe? It says, shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? You understand? When you think about it, just like Yak was saying before, these people will talk about the opinionated and this and that. But if this is what the Most High decree that going to happen, Scripture saying Isaiah say his word shall not return unto him void. You understand? If they see what you see are going to happen, no matter what you might believe about it, like you live in a house, if father say do it, you're going to get a cuttass. You believe when you wouldn't get a cuttass and go and do it, wouldn't make that your cuttass not sure.
They come in.
You understand? It come in. Right? It says verse 4, it says, God forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar. Right? It says, as it is written, it says, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings. And the prophets of the Lord, the real prophets, they're going to be justified in their sayings. The things that the scripture even say, Deuteronomy, is say how you're not a real prophet. If the things that he prophesied come to pass, that is when you'll know if the prophet was real. And in that time, that what they're going to say. I didn't not only read that in Zechariah.
And then not only that too, that also show you that the word is true.
Can. Because it's not our words. People just look at it and be like, oh, that's so harsh. The Lord was harsh. You understand?
What we say is coming from here.
It's not our words.
You have to understand that. It's not our opinion. It's not our opinion at all.
Yeah, say that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. And in that, you know,
Thou must overcome when thou art judged.
when thou art judged.
That's how powerful the word is. It's like, hey, there is where we get justified in God's words. Not in your opinion or not way to say things somebody say. In the Lord's words we are justified. So we could turn to the Lord's words and get the answers. We could turn to the Lord's words and get the truth. You know? Or something here.
Mhm.
This is Matthew chapter 24. Matter of fact, let me read the last verse in 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 14 verse 17. It says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. So as time passes, it's only going to get worse. It says so much that evils increase. And that's just the time that we're in. It's that evils increasing day by day. To the point where
it's not that evil thing that the government do to the point where you have to go certain places. You have to have this thing. Is that not an evil thing? It can't be good.
It was evil in the first place to even tell you can't go without permission.
Yeah.
Because originally a man could just leave his land and go wherever he feel like
Yeah.
and come back.
Yeah.
But now they want to tell you if you want to leave, you had to take this thing that you don't even know inside it. You understand? I have a piece of ready. Alright?
Good.
So then Matthew 10, I'll start from 16. It say, behold, I sent you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. It say, be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. It say, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. You understand? So that these are things that the scriptures say what that you warned me about before, that we wouldn't be offended. You understand? Men go just like your brother said, men go be selling you out. Men go want to scourge you and deliver you up to the councils and so forth. It say verse 18 it say, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake and for the testimony and for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Just like the Lord was. The Lord was brought before the council and before the people for testimony against them also. That's why even Pilate, when he really play, he wash your hands and he say, you know what? I had nothing to do with this. This on all your hands. You understand? And for the people who go and sell all the brothers in that time and turn against the word of the Lord and so forth, that blood go be on their hands also. That's how some of them might even justify the destruction. You understand? By just like what they used to do in the past, selling all the prophets. And killing the prophets and so forth. Verse 19 is say, but when they deliver you up, take no thought or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. It's like your brother said, let free of mortal thoughts. In that time, the Lord going and had to intervene and deal with the matters that are going to be taking place. Because in that time, none of we could say what we're going to do. You would do this, you wouldn't do that. It's the Lord that had to be with you to actually make you do what needs to be done.
Yeah, with all the Lord's Spirit, yeah, basically do.
Okay.
All the Lord being there for you, basically do. You understand?
And that will come in terms of what you'll say, where you'll be, what you'll eat. It will come in many forms. You understand? That is if you say He will. You say for you keep the word of patience. You say He will keep you from the other temptation.
No two people the same in terms of when that thing can do.
Everybody might have something different to deal with. And the Lord had to be with you to deal with it, whether it be you live to the end or whether it be you had to get your heads off. Yeah, please, sir?
Yeah. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7 verse 4. Say, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. You understand? Say, take heed that no man deceive you. And the thing about these people here, they easily deceive. You understand? They believe in anything. Anything and everything they believe in. You understand? So they easily deceive. But this Lord says, take heed that no man deceive you. Now careful attention what you're wrong. Make sure. Right? It says, many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many.
ISUPK.
Yeah.
You understand? Using the Lord's name to blaspheme and deceive people.
It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. You understand? So they say the end is not yet. So you can see how much things we have to go through, how much things we have to face. You understand? It says for the end is not yet. It says for what? It says hear of wars and rumors of wars. We hearing about that right now. You understand? You see what's going on in the Middle East. You see what's going on in other places. Right? It says, for ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. It says, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the end is not, it has so much things to come that to you it's looking like the end. But it's not the end yet.
It's the beginning of sorrows.
Yeah, that's the beginning. That way we just say we're in the end of times. You understand? The end of days.
So these things are the play out. Certain prophecies are the play out. So the prophecies are the happen. You understand?
And I think it must happen.
Yeah.
So nobody could stop it. All the protests, all the things,
Isaiah 50 is 55.
all the uproars,
Basically, we come to avoid. Okay, yeah.
nothing will stop what is coming.
I think I was just thinking about.
Nothing don't stop it. They can't even stop the government for what it is they doing. You really feel they can stop the Lord? They can't even stop the government for doing the things that they're doing right now. You really feel they can stop the Lord? What make people think that they can stop the Lord?
Exactly. And if you feel you can stop the government, right? And you're supposed to put them there in the first place. You think you are the power. You already have the power. No.
See, Isaiah 55, I'll start from 10, right? It says, "For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and return it not thither," right? It say, "but water the earth, and make it bring forth the bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It shall not return unto me void."
So the Lord was saying, His word will not come and take void. That's what His brother said. They think that things ain't gonna happen, but things have to happen. It must. The Lord said His word it will come back to Him void. Understand?
And everything happening in prophecy, so just come from His word.
Yeah.
So let's try and stop prophecy.
It's good, but say, the Lord's not a man that you should lie. Once he done say it going up, and he said it in the stone, he's not going to change your mind.
Cannot stop prophecy.
Or else he could be lying.
But
Right, to say, "But it shall accomplish that which I please." And it's something that the Lord please. You understand? It's not something that the Lord just doing because, just for doing its sake. It's something the Lord desire to do to this place because of how it is. Right? "Which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it."
so what?
It shall prosper in the thing thereto I sent it.
It's a prosper anything.
So He's sending all these plagues and famines and Jacob struggles, etc. It will
Yeah,
prosper.
the destruction will prosper.
There's nothing you could do so you can cool it down. Let's just stop it. And He delights in this.
Can.
Because I mean, any day, some people feel when the end comes, it's just like you turn on a switch, boop, you just get black. But no, this thing gonna get real again.
See, people feel that by prayer they could change the Lord's mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. That is one of the teachings of Christianity. They come so I see you'll get rich. You don't know if it's the Lord's desire for you to have money in the first place. You're not going to change the Lord's mind by just going to church. You could go to church for 12, 20 years, and then when you come back you realize, after all that time pass, you realize you're still on a low level. Because some people... Huh? Oh yeah, because some people are supposed to be on a low level. The person who meant to be rich don't have to be you. But if that what you come into the Lord for is obviously going to get disappointed. You're supposed to come to the Lord wanting to do the Lord's will, not to seek your own desire.
Exactly, servant you know.
Exactly. The God doesn't understand what servant means. Servant to the Lord. They just feel by prayer they could shape life into their will, into how they want life to be. It doesn't work that way. When you pray to the Lord, you say that kingdom come, thy will be done. You're praying for the Lord's will to be accomplished, not your own.
Even the Messiah couldn't stop the Lord will.
Can.
When he was in
You got like somebody.
Yeah.
right? We say he asked the Lord, he said if it come to pass, let it pass. But he say, you know what? Let thy will be done.
Can. Only if it be thy will.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you can't stop that.
Can't.
Even the Messiah himself. Right? Even the Messiah himself. Say let the Lord will be done.
Nothing to be done.
Who's you?
Nothing to be done.
Who's you?
Can.
Son?
And sometimes it's not pleasant. But that's how it is.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not pleasant, but that it is what it is.
And then as on an added note on that, if he fulfill what his father tell him to do, he have to do it. Right? his next mission to fulfill right now.
That's the right thing about it. He fulfilled it because that's his father's will, and he know that he have a reward coming to the end of it.
Right.
But you had to have faith to do that.
So, he's coming back soon. And this time, his father's will is to destroy.
God. And you'll fulfill that also.
So you understand what happening there?
You'll fulfill that also.
He is coming to destroy.
Before he come to be beaten, now he coming to beat.
And in this destruction, he would be delighted.
Come.
So to say the Lord will meet you as a man. You understand? Let me finish this here.
Mm-hmm.
It say here, it say for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence, famines. Like our general question to the same people from last time. I say, all you know right now we gonna need food shortages worldwide. To the fact where I think
That's why food
England was missing carbon dioxide, so certain things that they keep across there, they cannot send it out, which causing a chain reaction right now.
Missing carbon dioxide, so they're cutting all the trees too. Or?
No, remember there is a trend of
Maybe, that, as you said, there's a world food shortage, which is why your food is going up. It's costing more to ship, to produce, transport.
But I wonder also, like for example, remember they say carbon dioxide is produced from trees. So I wonder if the atmosphere contaminated, that we have trees to be able to filter out the air.
Yeah.
I wonder if that could have a part to air and let them more oxygen.
And it also shows that how industrial the space is, because there's factories.
Everything contaminated in the air. Like
The thing is, it's not a balance now. So you have more than one, more than the other. So if you have more factories and etc., and less trees, hello, there's less oxygen.
You know, I remember my part of Mexico was telling me, like I was telling my son, sometimes we just catch rainwater now. You see across the, you can't do that now.
no, this last
You catch rainwater across the.
just last night I was telling somebody that I say
What? Church?
yeah,
It's so polluted.
Oh,
The atmosphere is so polluted. The atmosphere is so polluted. You can't catch rainwater.
even with I thought I had the article, but this thing don't save shit.
Because I even hear if you catch rainwater on a WhatsApp,
Here?
yeah,
And in America too, it's illegal to catch rainwater.
they catch rainwater, like plant and thing, right? But like if you want to keep that for yourself to drink,
The drinks, yes.
charge or something like that.
Charge.
I'm gonna break up that
It
again.
have
Morning.
It have there are certain states, right? Certain states that it's illegal to catch rainwater.
Yeah.
Just last night I was talking to them about that. I say, oh, do that. And one person, I think it's two people know it, that it's illegal to catch rainwater. Right? Something with this, I wish I had the article. It was an article telling me about the countries are keeping the stuff because they're missing certain stuff now. Right? So what causing is a chain reaction causing a shortage of food. So
Yeah.
if
They
they
keep it, they're not shipping it out.
no, they're not shipping.
Yeah.
In your country, short of it.
Because your country ain't producing it,
Right.
there more
So
problems.
for example, like right now we have an increase of food prices, right? Like certain food prices jumping from like Motox guava jam. 17 bottle, somebody post up 2 pictures before and after, and they give you 2 different dates, which was like a span of a week, right? The guava was $17 a week ago. The guava jam was $17 a week ago. Today, you know, Jay?
30?
$27.
Oh, $10 in.
In a week. Not even like a dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, name at $2 something.
But when people think it's like, well, one of the stuff is obviously the tax and whatever it is going on, whatever it is, right? But also the shortage of certain supplies,
Certain ingredients. that
certain
you need to
ingredients,
make.
yeah. But they see they're not coming on until that because that was cause what?
Panic,
Fear
yeah.
and
It cause,
panic.
it cause panic buying, and that's gonna make things difficult.
Because even all these lockdowns cause a whole set of things like that, and a chain reaction as well. Certain factories just close down, certain things just close down that create certain products or byproducts or like just
There are shortage.
yeah.
Like when cement was 150 a bag. It was three times the usual cost.
Yeah. That is to say, when people don't understand what it is, what is the danger at hand. You understand? Because farming is a heavy thing, no food. Well, these people can't even live a day without food. An hour without eating something, 2 hours, 3 hours without eating something. They faint away. They're weak. You understand?
And if I can say, I remember when the apostle was talking about that, they say famines could come in different ways. Like for example, for one man, a famine might be that for he might be that it might be that trucks can be able to deliver the goods into it mightn't be like mightn't have food in it, but it mightn't be able to get to your location.
Yeah.
And next way might be that it have nobody in the area to be able to buy food.
Yeah.
You understand? It could come in many different versions.
Yeah. So you have no money to buy because you'll lose your work in the pandemic.
Exactly. So your whole area might be going through a famine.
And it's have people like that. Alright, this country as a whole still have substitutions and food already. It had families really locked up, especially the second one.
Yeah, nothing to eat, nothing.
Nothing to eat. So it have food, but
When it had giveaways, I remember by Savannah going by Marvel side.
lines
If you see lines, if you see lines of people
for hampers.
from just follow the hamper.
And as you say, the famine come in different forms. And then worst of all, coming soon is the famine on the road.
Can
Say here,
How do we warn in here?
see longer be barren of faith.
say, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. They say here, all these are the beginning of sorrows.
Okay.
It didn't say all these are beginning of joy. It said all these are the beginning of what?
It didn't
Sorrows.
symbolize the ending either.
Yeah.
It's the beginning.
That's just the beginning.
You see the mud shall cease from the land.
Yeah. You understand? And that's the time that we get into. This is
A
just
few
the
weeks ago, they had about 4 hurricanes in time.
about the long chain.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why we get this hot weather, they say they're going to give us 3 days of the hottest weather that Trinidad ever get
Yeah, boy, in history.
in history. 3 days from starting from today. And we have a hurricane right outside.
Come in.
Somebody tell me about a hurricane circulating
You come in.
right now.
It might come to us, but we won't have the next. Let's have no level up. This is time for what? At the beginning of our
I'll be up here. It said Ecclesiastes 39 verse 28. It said there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And you're actually seeing these strokes being laid on right now. Yeah, and in different ways.
different forms.
You understand? It coming in terms of famine, in terms of pestilences, in terms of disasters. People's houses you see just caving in. When they see certain tsunamis in certain places of the world, you're just seeing literal houses just washing away. You understand? You're laying on strokes right now. And right now the strokes not even as bad as it's going on be. So if you're watching these things and you know that they're going to get much worse than this. Right? Say alright. It say so strokes, it say in the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
Yeah, look for example, you hurricane that fast in New York. Full lot of New York
Yeah.
subways. And that's a
That
little
was
thing.
Iba or
Yeah.
Ida or something like that. That was the one that the woman walked to the basement. I mean, look, the whole wall
was
cave in
busting, yeah.
and just throwing everybody down there.
I have friends that lose cars, I think. Them things not insured on a flood because they never get.
Yeah, because they're not accustomed to flood. And I think about the disasters that the Lord is coming our way. The scripture say it will come in a way that you wouldn't expect.
And you see, port is that. Port is that.
Right? See, verse 29, right? Ecclesiastes 39, verse 29. It say, fire and hail, and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. So that's why the Lord created these things. But when Israel was in a good case, them things never used to happen to them. You understand? It was created for disobedience, eternal disobedience. It said teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Because that is ultimately the penalty for the wicked. You understand? To be destroyed. And that's the time the scripture say what it say, knowing all these things, what manner of man you ought to be. You understand? Because you don't want to be on that side of the coin.
That's why you always have to make sure you're oil. That oil in the lamp here.
Can. You gotta make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Till the end of the day, just know the time going and come where work going and lock off. Work going and lock off for us. And then we could just be living off of our savings, as you say, let's go. You understand?
Next thing I said, if you have any savings, because by that time going there, you have to live up the land.
You had to have oil in your lamp.
Have oil in the lamp.
You had to have oil in your lamp.
The spirit with you.
Okay, in that time, when the Lord only going to be dealing with his chosen. Everybody, men, this scripture here, Zechariah 8 verse 23. It said, thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirts of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that the Most High is with you. And that is the kind of time we're going to be in just now. Scripture said the Lord going to be a man going to be a hiding place. You understand? And a covering from the wind, which is destruction. You understand? In that time the Lord going to be with his men, and other people going to see that, and they're going to want to flock to that man. You understand? He going to be like a living representation.
That's the time that we're in. You understand? Because at the end of the day, I was telling the same people that said that anytime to come, you feel a man have a time to study a woman just so. He had to study himself. You understand? That is what the Lord said, raise the woman at that age. You understand?
At that time things wouldn't be convenient for them as it is now.
Yeah. I know it's convenient. But in that time all that mud going to disappear. The Lord said the mud shall go from the land. You understand? And the mud means our happiness. You understand? So yeah.
And that time to come, that's going to be a beautiful time. Scripture say what the scripture say in famine and hunger thou shalt laugh. Well, these other people going and be going through destruction. Why? Because when you was talking to them, they was caught up in carnival. They was caught up in some foolishness that they didn't need to. He was warning them. They was like, boy, that not going to happen. Think about that. God is a Trinity. Or some kind of foolishness. Or some kind of foolishness to like to talk. But in that kind of time, when they go and receive the recompense on their own head.
Done. That's right.
The man's coffee just now. You like that?
Something saying that.
Yeah, like that talk. Yeah, let T-ball head. Let him go ahead. Let him go ahead. In that time, we go see. He go want to hear it talk.
Mother, in that time, in the coming weeks, months, yeah, in the coming weeks, months, you're going to see a drastic change into the life that you're living. You understand? This life that people are walking here right now and taking everything normal, in the coming weeks, months, you're going to see a drastic change to that. You understand?
Thing is, that thing is not. It used to be added. Now it's gonna multiply.
You're going to see a change in the attitude also. You see these people who want to think highly now and want to just talk shit. In that time, though, you will see how they're going to be. You understand? In that time, I think it have it here in Isaiah. If I could find it.
The mention is a scoffer will scoff down to the end. You understand? But as the Lord say, it has something for the scoffer. You understand? I think they'll probably say what? It's a whip and lashes.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember exactly what it is. I want to say Isaiah 2. I'll start from verse 11, right? Isaiah 2 verse 11 is say, the lofty looks of a man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. So all these people who want to be high-minded and think to themselves, well, I smart, I have money, I had this, I had that. These comforts not going to help you in that time. It not.
They will not exist just now.
It not. Because the government could just do so and cut you off for everything. And that will be it. And then what you go have? You wouldn't have anything. And
That's already a thing in their mind that they feel what they have in their
because
until that time comes.
the lean on the things of the world and not on the things of the Lord.
Yeah.
Not to say like having these things is bad in it. But you can't have it in your mind like these things make you safe.
your so-called house or your thing is yours,
None is yours.
not gonna be yours. But if you don't pay property tax, guess what happens?
Because it's not yours.
They keep it.
It's not yours. You understand? You're renting it. Even if you buy it, you're renting it. Say verse 12, it say, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall. Verse 12, right? Isaiah 2 verse 12, it say, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone. Right? Everyone that is proud and lofty.
Fix them as they fix it in the road.
Yeah.
What in that? What is that? I know that.
Right? You see, shall be upon. See, Isaiah 2 verse 12, it say, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. And that time coming, especially you see about these women that are at ease. In that time, everyone, including them, because they are the ones most lifted up in society today.
It's a pride. It's a pride.
For
Pride
destruction.
before fall. Yeah. For tradition. So the prideful, the prideful, the scornful, you know, the scorners. All these people are going to have a great judgment to receive for the things that they do, for the ways that they are.
Can.
You understand?
Because just like Esau, the thing that not because nothing happening to them at the present time, the thing that they're going to escape untouched, but it don't work so. They're going to be joined with Esau for how they are. Lord, it said the what they preserved or they reserved unto fire. That is their judgment, they're being reserved unto fire. But they just think that they're going to last forever.
That's right.
Right? You see. Yeah, that's enough on that. I'm gonna get one Ecclesiasticus 2. Ecclesiasticus 2, I'll start from Ecclesiasticus 2, I'll start from 10. It say, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And I'll go back to them who was actually doing the things that the Lord say. You understand? The Lord, the ones that was actually reserved unto the Lord. Because it did have some, and it will have some that will call upon his name. But they're not going to be answered. Why? Because they're not of the Lord. I remember the story, the man with the demons jump on. You understand? It say Paul I know and Mashiach, but who art thou? And the demon, the spirit, it mash him up. Why? Because he wasn't a part of the household of the Lord. He's probably one of them who was pushing out his chest and like, hey, let me go and follow them men and exercise. And they didn't actually believe. They wasn't actually followers. And what happened to them? They're doing the work of the Lord deceitfully.
They also show you that there's a different rank when it comes towards that as well.
Can.
There's Matthew 7:22. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils?
Can.
And in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that do iniquity.
Can. So there are some who literally fall in that category. Though, like I say, like ISCPK, they call the name of the Lord, but they're telling men to go and job. You understand? So them in that time, they go out, men like that go out and answer faith.
Exactly. And then you say, I don't know.
And then they go out men like what the brothers say. It had different ranks of things. Just like when Mashiach come and remove the spirit normal and Paul and them couldn't do it. And what he had tell them, he says some spirits go not by but by what prayer and fasting. But he didn't need to pray and fast to move it.
Yeah,
You understand? So it's at different levels.
The spirits themselves, when the Lord was coming, they should have activate.
yeah, boy. That was in this is what God come to. Come in just.
And if I could say if I could say that you see why too in this case I don't know your level. If you're on a low level, you don't know your level. I not know high level, I not know apostle level. Yes, I don't know your level. Because you might think yourself to be a high level and then You might go and do something above your level and mess yourself up.
Hey, just stay humble. Let's do what we have to
No,
do.
that's it.
and-
That's a matter of humbleness now.
Can.
Do what you're supposed to do and be humble. Alright.
Yeah. Yeah. So bring the piece of
Yeah. 2 Corinthians 5, start from 6. Therefore, we are always confident knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. For we walk by faith, not by sight.
Can.
We are confident, I say, and will rather be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord.
So that's to say, yeah. So yeah, I did. Romans 12, you make your body a living sacrifice. Understand? That is the duty unto the Lord. And hey, that is what we got to do. This, hey, we here and we are away from the Lord. So if we're not here and we will do what? We will be with the Lord. You understand?
And if I can say that the mindset you have to be in really and truly in that time come, he might require a life of you. And if you're not in that mindset, what's gonna happen?
No, or what we gonna do? We can't stop that. You understand? Even if we can't stop it.
No, we can't stop it.
It say be faithful unto death, and I shall give you a crown of life.
Also come back to knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge of these things, you want to grab on and hold on to what you have here,
But not just the
What did
knowledge,
you
you
really
have to have the faith.
you have to have the right. You have to have this scripture here. Wherefore we labor that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach,
Can.
that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he has done, whether it is good or bad.
And when you go before that seat, you wanna make sure your clothes clean. You wanna make sure your robes right. You understand? You wanna see no spot here and your spot there. You gotta have white robes. You gotta make sure you do what you're supposed to do and avoid what you're not supposed to do.
As one more season. Yeah, yeah.